So here we are in Adobe After Effects. Let's create a new composition and we are going to call it as main animation. Width is 1920, height is 180, frame rate is 30, and duration we are going to choose 1 minute long duration. And background color, you are free to choose any color you want. For this tutorial, I'm going to choose black color and simply hit OK. Then go to choose grid and guide option and simply hit on title adventure. Then I'm going to select my text tool, and for the color I'm going to choose black, and for the font you can choose any normal font if you want. I'm going to type my motion over here. Okay, then select this text and try to use a bold version of this font, and I'm also going to increase the size of this. Okay, like that. Then let's select this and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Now after that, I'm going to select this text. I'll go to the character menu, and for the color, I'm going to choose red color. Then select this layer and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. And this time I'll choose black color. And I'm going to select my text tool and I'm going to remove this remaining text. Then select this M, change the color of this layer to yellow. Then select this and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Then I'm going to select this M and I'll hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. And I'm going to call this as O. Then select this O, press P for position and try to adjust the position with our reference layer like that. Okay. Then select this, hit Ctrl D and type T over there. Then select this, press P and try to adjust the position. You can adjust them with the help of arrow keys as well. Then for this O, I'm going to select this O layer only, hit Ctrl D, bring this at the top, press P for position and try to adjust the position over here like that. Hit Ctrl D, select this second layer and I'm going to type I for this. Select this I, press P for position and try to adjust it over here like that. Then select this O, hit Ctrl D and let's change this text to N. Select this, press P and try to bring this over here like that. So our text is ready. Now select all of these layers and press Ctrl Alt Home to align their respective anchor point to the center. Now first thing first, we are going to animate this T. So let's select this T and press V for position. Let's select this and create one keyframe at position. Then go somewhere around 20 frames and try to bring this upward like that. Then at the start, I'm going to bring this totally downward like that. Then go a few frames forward around over here and try to adjust the position properly at this point. Then select those position keyframes and let's hit F9. Let's go to the graph editor. So right click and make sure that you are in edit speed graph. Select this graph by holding shift, move this handle over here and move this handle over here. Zoom in a little bit, move this handle at this point and select this and move this handle at this point. Okay, so we will get something like that, but there is some glitch over here. So to get rid of it, select those position keyframes, right click, go to the keyframe interpolation and instead of auto bezier choose linear. So if you check it out this, we will get something like that. Now this animation is really slow, so let's select those keyframes and by holding Alt, I'll drag it up to 20 frames. So it will be a little bit faster. Then somewhere around at this point, I'm going to select this T and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift D to split this layer and hit U and we are going to delete those keyframes. Then I'm going to select this M over here and let's try to bring this at this point, at this somewhere, and press Y for pen behind tool and try to bring this anchor point at this spot. Similarly, select this T which we have separated, try to bring this anchor point at the bottom. Now I'm going to select this M and I'll try to bring those two layers together. Okay, and with the help of open square bracket, I'll bring up to this. Now at this point, what I want that this M should fall from the top. So create one keyframe at position, go few frame forward, create another keyframe, and at the start, it should be at the top. Then select those position keyframes and hit F9. Go to the graph, select this graph. By holding shift, move this handle over here and move this handle over here. So it will create an illusion that it's falling from the top like that. Then I'm going to select this and I'll make it apparent with this T over here. Then select this T and press R for rotation to create one keyframe. Go few frame forward and rotate it downward like that. Totally like, not like this, but totally up to this. Then go few frame forward and let's bring this somewhere around like that. Then go few frame forward and let's make this value 0. Okay, so we will get something like that. Now let's select those keyframe and hit F9. Go to the graph editor. Now initially it should go fast, so let's select this and try to bring this proper handles like that. Over here I'm animating those rotation keyframes. Then at this point move this over here like that and move this over here like that. So if we check it out this, we'll get something like that. So if you see this now, we are getting something like this. So first we got this and then we got this. Then when this is going somewhere up to this, I'm going to select this M and I'll press Ctrl Shift D to split this layer and I'll hit U and I'm going to remove all the keyframes which are assigned to this M. Then select this M and remove the parenting as well. Along with that, I'm going to select this M and I'll press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Then select this position keyframes and simply right click and choose separate dimension. Then we'll create one keyframe at X and one keyframe at Y. Then go few frame forward over here. I'm going to select this and I'll try to move this over here like that. And at the start or somewhere around in the middle, I'll bring the Y position of this up to this. Okay. Then select those Y position keyframes, hit F9, go to the graph, select this graph, hold shift, move this handle over here and move this handle over here, move this handle over here and move this handle over here. So if we take it up this, we will get something like that. Now along with that, there should be some rotation as well, and I think this animation is very slow. So select those keyframes and by holding Alt, try to bring this as close as you can. Then I'll press R for rotation to create one keyframe, hit U, go over here and let's rotate it completely in such a way that it should match our reference layer like that. So we will get something like that. So if you see this now, we will get this and somewhere around like this. Now when all of this happening, I want all of the remaining layers as well should start to animate. So let's select those remaining layers and try to bring them at the top. And let's bring them over here and press P4 position to create one keyframe. Go few frame forward to create another keyframe. Again go few frame forward to create another keyframe. And at this point in the middle, I'll try to bring them up. Then in this point, I'll try to bring them totally out of this composition. Now I don't need this reference layer, so I'll delete it. Then I'm going to select those keyframe. I'll hit F9. I'll go to the graph editor, select this, hold shift to move this handle over here, zoom in, select this, move this handle over here, select this, move this handle at this point and move this handle at this point, zoom in, select this, move this handle at this and this handle at this, select this and move this handle at this point. Okay, so we will get something like that. Now after that, all of them should be one by one, but all of this should happen after this animation settle down somewhere around at this point. So let's select all of this like that and try to adjust those keyframes alternately like this. Okay, and it should happen somewhere around at this point, so it will not be too late. Okay, and now all we need to do is at this point there should be some rotation for this P as well. So I'll press R to create one keyframe. I'll hit O and at this point let's make this rotation 1. Select those rotation keyframes and hit F9. So we'll get something like that. Okay, and press F4, select all of them and enable the motion blur. So now if we check it out this animation, we will get something like that. Okay, then press Ctrl Y to create one solid background and let's try to bring this downwards like that and hit N over there. So as you guys can see, this is how you can create this kind of creative fixed animation inside of After Effects. So here we are in Adobe Illustrator, and now I have this illustration over here which I got from freepik.com. I'll provide the link of this file in the description. Okay, so you can download it from there. I'll provide the freepik link. Along with that, I have got this LinkedIn logo as well, which you can easily get from Google, and I have opened this file, which is a PNG file in Photoshop. First, we'll focus on this. What I'm gonna do over here, I have already created one extra document. Size is 1920 by 180, and I have imported my LinkedIn logo over here just for color correction. We are not going to use this logo in Illustrator file. So let's go to the FreePic file over here, and I'm going to select this, and I'll hit Control C to copy. I'll go to my logo file, and I'll hit Control V over there. Press E for transform tool, and by holding shift increase the size and try to bring this over here. And right click and choose ungroup. And out of all of this, only thing I want is this file and this paper. So all the extra stuff over here, I don't need that. So I'm going to delete that. Okay, we don't need that because we need only this file kind of structure over here like that. Even in this, I'll right click and choose ungroup. I don't want this extra background. The only thing I care about is this paper. So let's select this paper and this lines and hit Ctrl G. So now they are one object. Now we need some color correction over here. So before that, I'm going to select this over here. Let's select this much area and hit Ctrl X to cut it out. And create a new layer and press Ctrl Shift V, and let's try to bring this downwards. So if you see this, we have this portion over here, and then we have this paper. Hit Ctrl X, new layer, and press Ctrl Shift V, and let's call it as paper and try to bring this in the middle. Then we have this area. Let's select this LinkedIn logo, hit Ctrl X, create a new layer, and press Ctrl Shift V. Let's lock this layer for now. So now we have three layers. First one is this, then this paper, and then this option over here. Now we need a little bit color correction because we need this file color should be similar with this logo. So let's select this yellow color portion and hit I and pick up this color and press V. Similarly, now select this area, hit I and pick up this color, and this time go inside the color options and choose darker version of this color. Okay, like that. Now over here, we will select this option, hit I and pick up this color, go over here and choose light version of this colors. Then I'm going to select this and this color and press I, and we'll pick up this option over here like that. So we will get this kind of a folder like structure. Then I'm going to select this. Let's select this one over here, this option. Let's call it as front. Then select this option and let's call it as back. Okay. So now as you guys can see, our this portion is ready. Now we will animate this in After Effects. Okay, but before that we need to create a logo as well. So for that I'm going to select this logo layer and I'll delete it. I don't need that logo as we have discussed. And let's save this file and try to adjust it over here. Now over here there is one extra object, so let's delete that. Okay, so this portion is ready. Now let's go to the Photoshop, and I have this LinkedIn logo over here, out of which we have this portion and this. I want each and every one on separated layer. So for that, I'm going to select M on my keyboard for rectangle selection, and I'll select this L over here. Then I'm going to hit Ctrl X to cut it out, and I'll create a new layer and I'll press Ctrl Shift V to paste in place. Now this procedure I'm going to follow for all of these alphabets. Hit Ctrl X, new layer, press Ctrl Shift V and hide this. Similarly, select this N, hit Ctrl X, new layer, Ctrl Shift V. Let's hide this. Then for this one, I'm going to press L, which is a shortcut key for lasso tool. I'm going to select this key over here. Hit Ctrl X to cut it out, new layer, and press Ctrl Shift V, and let's hide this. There again, I'm going to select this pole area, hit Ctrl X to cut it out, new layer and press Ctrl Shift V and let's hide this. Then I'm going to select this area. I'll hit Ctrl X, create a new layer and press Ctrl Shift V and let's hide this. Okay, so now what we need to do is that we have this eye over here and I want this color, I mean this white color text should be on a separated layer. So for that what I'm gonna do, I'll select this and I'll hit Ctrl J to copy and I'm going to hide this last layer. Then I'm gonna go in picker options, I mean eraser tool, and I'm going to choose magic eraser tool and I'll simply remove this color. Then I'm going to press M, which is a shortcut key for rectangle selection. Select this eye, hit Ctrl X, new layer and press Ctrl Shift V. Then this N is already on separated layer. Then select this layer, which is this box. By holding Ctrl, click on this so it will select that object. Then press I for picking up this color like this and hold Alt backspace to apply on this and hit Ctrl D. So now if you check it out this, we will get something like that. And let's save this file. So now we have proper this alphabets on different layers. Okay, so now this entire stuff is ready. So let's animate this in After Effects. So let's go to the After Effects, create a new composition, and we are going to call it as mean animation. Width is 1920, height is 180, frame rate is 30, duration 1 minute long, and background color is white, and simply hit OK. Then go to choose grid and guide option and simply hit on title selection. Then press Ctrl I and import your logo file. Instead of puppet, choose composition written layer sizes and simply hit import. And double click to open this. Then hit Ctrl K to open the project settings and I'm going to change this color to white. Okay, like that just for now, and try to bring this over here. And now I'll right click new and create one null object. I'm going to select all of them and I'll make it a parent with this null. I'll select this null, press S and let's scale this properly like that. Okay, now select this paper and try to bring this over here and press Y for pen behind tool and try to adjust the anchor point at the bottom. Then select this paper and hit Ctrl D. Select this fourth layer and try to move this over here and hit W and let's rotate it like that. Again hit Ctrl D and let's rotate it like that and let's try to bring this over here like that. And select these two papers and try to bring this at the bottom like that. Then select this paper, go to the effect and presets panel and search for drop shadow effect and double click to apply. And let's increase this value to 200, also distance to a little bit more and opacity to 20. Then go to the picker and pick up this blue color. Then select this drop shadow, hit Ctrl C to copy, select the remaining layers of paper and hit Ctrl V. So now we have this one. Now what we need to do is that we need to animate this portion. So for that let's delete this null object for now and right click new and create one null object again. And this time press Ctrl Alt O to align their anchor point to the center. Go to the align them, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Press S for scaling option and let's increase the scale. Select all of them and now make it apparent with this null object. Then select this null object and press P for position. Then let's create one keyframe over here and go somewhere around 1 second to create another keyframe. And in the middle, I'm going to bring this upward like that. And at the start, I'm going to bring this downwards. Okay. And let's bring this last keyframe a little bit over here. Now select those keyframe and hit F9. Go to the graph, right click and make sure that you are in edit spread graph. Select this graph by holding shift, move this handle over here and move this handle over here. Select this, move this handle over here and move this handle over here. So we will get something like that. Okay. Now press R for rotation to create one keyframe and hit U. Let's go somewhere around over here and let's make this one complete rotation. So we will get something like that. Now after this, there should be some bounciness. So I'll go few frame forward to create one keyframe at position. And in the middle, I'll try to bring this a little bit upward, not too much. Then go to the graph editor again. Now the graph is weird over here. So let's select this and hit F9. Select this by holding shift, move this handle at this point and this handle at this point. So we will get a little bit of bounciness. Okay, like that. So if you check it out this, we'll get something like that. Now when this is happening, I want this paper should come from the bottom. So let's try to bring this over here with the help of open square bracket. Press P for position to create one keyframe, as well as R for rotation to create another keyframe, and hit U. And let's go few frame forward to create another keyframe at rotation and position. And at the start, let's make the rotation 0 for each and every one. And let's select this and try to bring this at this point. Then select this and try to bring this at this point. Then select all of these three and try to bring them downward like that. Then select those keyframes and let's hit F9. Go to the graph editor, select this by holding shift, move this handle over here like that. Okay. So if you check it out, this animation, we'll get something like that. Okay. Then select those rotation keyframe on this null object and hit F9. Go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move this handle over here and move this handle over here. So if you check it out this, we will get something like that. And even these papers are very fast. So let's try to increase the size of this, or let's bring this over here and try to take a gap of few frames over here like that. Okay. Then after that, what I want is that all of them should be parent with this front one. So let's select this front one, but before that select this and press Y for pen behind tool, and by holding control try to bring this anchor point at the bottom and hit U, and let's make sure that your time indicator, which is this one, should be after the keyframes of all of them. And then select all the layers including this papers and this back, and now make it apparent with this front one. Okay, like that, like this. Then somewhere around at this point I'll press S and unlink this. Let's create one keyframe, go few frame forward, let's increase the size of this a little bit, then go few frame over here. Let's make this size like that, and let's bring this over here like this. Select those keyframe and hit F. Let's make this size a little bit more small, and let's try to bring those keyframe a little bit over here and try to bring this downward like that. And then after this point, what we need is that we need our logo to pop up. So first we have this tent somewhere around at this point. Let's select those keyframe, go to the graph editor, zoom in. Let's select those. Select these keyframes by holding shift, this handle over here, and select this and this handle over here. Okay, then select those by holding shift, move this handle over here like that. So if you see, we will get something like that. Now after this portion, somewhere around at this point, hit U, and now I press Ctrl I, and I'm going to select my logo layer. Go to the import as footage, composition, return layer sizes, and simply hit import and hit OK. And double click to open this. Select all of these layers and hit Ctrl C to copy. Go to the logo and hit Ctrl V, and press Ctrl Alt Y. Ctrl Alt Shift Y, sorry. Select all of these layers and make it apparent with this null object. Select this null object, press S and try to bring this scale somewhere up to this, and press P, and let's try to bring this position over here like that. and let's delete those bits. Then select all of these layers and with the help of open square bracket move this over here. Now we all know, let's see, this last keyframe is at this point. So I'm going to select all of these layers, press P for position, select all of this position keyframes of these layers like that. Right click and choose separate dimension, create one keyframe at X and one keyframe at Y. Then press R for rotation to create one keyframe and then go few frame forward to create another keyframe at X and Y. And let's make this one complete rotation. Then in the middle at the start, go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically like that. Then in the middle, I am going to change the Y position of this one to somewhere around over here like that. Then go few frame forward over here again. Again create one keyframe at Y position, zoom in somewhere in the middle, again bring this over here. Let's go to the search option and search for Y. Then select all those keyframes and let's hit the F9. Go to the graph editor, select this. By holding shift, move this handle over here, select this and move this handle over here. Select this and move this handle over here. Select this and move this handle over here. Similarly, select this portion, move this handle over here. Select this and try to bring this over here. Let's move this a little bit. Then again, move this portion at this point. Select this and move this portion at this point. Okay. So if you check it out this now, we will get something like that. Now, after this, it should be one by one. Okay. So, and along with that, one thing is that there should be some motion blur and all of this should be randomized. But before that, there is another thing we need to focus on, that all of them, select them and choose motion blur. So what will happen is that after this, we will get some motion blur. Now we need to select this box, which is this one, I guess, over here, this box and these letters, and try to bring them at the top, because those are the things that should be at the front, because all of them are ending over here. And all the remaining layers which are at the bottom of this files, press alt close square bracket to trim up to this, and let's bring this over here like that. Okay, over here like this. Then let's do one thing. We'll try to bring this one by one. So hit page down button one time or two times or one time only. Select this eye and move this over here. Again hit page down button, select this and over here and move this over here. Okay, like that. Then after that, again try to adjust this randomly like that. So it would be better for us to adjust this like that. So if we check it out, this animation, we'll get this and then this. Okay, and select all of them and enable the motion blur like that. Okay, now also one thing that this looks very at the bottom. So again press control you know mm, one adjustment layer, or you can create any null object as well. Select all of them and make it apparent with this adjustment layer. Select this and try to bring this a little bit upward. So press P and try to bring this a little bit over here. Okay, like that. So it would be properly at the center. So first we got this and then we got this. Then after that, uh, let's go to the main animation and let's bring our logo comp, which is this one, which contains this animation, and press Ctrl Y and let's pick up this color over here with OK and try to bring this at the bottom. So there's going to be a little bit background. And if you want that instead of that, you can choose a little bit whitish from white complexion over here as well. So we got this, then we got this. Then after that, I'm going to select this logo, right click, go to the layer styles and choose bevel and emboss. Go to the bevel and emboss and let's increase the softness, then increase the size of this. Also, if you want, then select this and choose, uh, little bit this color over here, and let's decrease this opacity of the shell. Okay, so if you check it out this now, you will get something like that. And I'll hit end over there. So as you guys can see, this is how you can create this kind of simple logo reveal animation inside of After Effects. So here we are in Adobe After Effects. First thing first, we will click on this new composition option. Then we will try to name our composition. Now usually I type name animation. Width is 1920, height is going to be 180, so it will be a full HD video. Frame rate is 30 and duration I'm going to choose 1 minute long, even though our video is going to be our 5-second animation only, but we will do that later. Background color I'm going to choose white color and simply hit OK. Then go to choose grid and guide option and simply hit on titles of action. So we will get this kind of camera grid. Now this portion in our canvas is our main canvas where we are actually going to see. On this one, this is the project window where our entire composition or anything which we are going to create over here, it will be automatically gonna come over here, and this is our timeline which is divided into two sections. This area which you are seeing over here is our actual timeline, and this portion we will see the main and all the keyframe options on this portion. Okay. So let's try to create our text first. And for the text, I'm going to select my text tool, and you are free to choose whatever font you want. I'm going to choose somewhere around Davis. Okay. And I'm going to choose a regular version of this font and black color of this font. And let's select our text tool and let's increase the size of this text. And I'm going to type just do it. Okay. And now let's select this text. Now alphabetical distance, which means tracking in this text is too much. So I'm going to click over there, select the tracking, and let's try to reduce that value somewhere around like this. Then select this text and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. By holding Ctrl Alt Home, the anchor point is gonna be properly at the center. Anchor point, basically if you select this pen behind tool, then this option is which is moving is anchor point. Why it is important? For example, if I press R on my keyboard and if I try to rotate it, as you guys can see, it's rotating from the center because the anchor point is at the center. But with the help of pen behind tool, if I try to move this anchor point at this point, and now if I rotate it, as you guys can see, we are getting this weird option. So to avoid that, what we generally do, we will select our main object and we will press Ctrl Alt O. So anchor point is automatically come at the center. Now if this text is not at the center, I want this properly at the center. So I'll select my selection tool. I'll go to the align tab. I'm going to choose align horizontally. So it will be at the center in a horizontal way. Then we are going to choose align vertically. So it will be at the center in a vertical way. Okay, like that. Now what we need to do over here is that I want to animate this text. So what I'm gonna do, I'll animate this text, and same animation we are going to use again to create a proper graphical video. Okay, so let's go inside this. Now there are two options, one is transform and one is text. Text options consist all the text information, and transform options which consist all the information which is related to layer. For example, position, scale, rotation. So currently we don't need that, so let's minimize it. We'll go to the text. So over here you will get this much options, out of which for the animation we need to focus on this animate. So let's click on this animate, and what I want is to animate the position. So let's see where is the position, which is at the third point. Let's click on this position. Now after that you will get one extra section which consists stereo options. Animator 1, because we have added animator, and they are asking to select the position which is going to be the initial position of this text. So I bought the initial position of this text should be downward like that. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, make sure to select this text and go to the paragraph menu and click on the center text. Otherwise, our animation will become a little bit weird. Okay, like that. So initial position, let's take a proper value. Let's take 200. Now I want to animate one by one. So for that, we are going to use frame selector. Now if I increase the start value, it will animate from the start. If I decrease this end value, it will animate from this one. So now I want to animate this from the start. So let's create one keyframe at the start. Zoom in a little bit. With the help of plus and minus, you can zoom in, zoom out in between this. And then I'll go to around 120 frame, 1.1 second 20 frames, and I'll make this value 100 like that. So if you hit spacebar, you'll get this kind of animation. Now, this animation is not enough. So because the keyframes are not, smooth. So to make it smooth, we are going to select those keyframes. We will right click on it, on the keyframes. So we are going to select this, right click, go to the keyframe assistance, and we need to click on easy ease. Shortcut key is F9. So and what you can do, simply select those keyframes and we will hit F9. Okay, like that. Now let's go to the select those keyframes and let's go to the graph editor. Right click and make sure that you are choosing edit speed graph. If by chance your edit value graph is enabled, your graph will look like this. We don't need that, so we will choose edit speed graph. Okay, like that. So now after this, this graph basically indicating speed because we have applied ease in, ease out. That's why this graph is like this. Basically, it represents the speed of our action. Currently, initially it's 0. As it goes further, the speed is maximum at this point. Then again, speed becomes very slow. So that's why if we see initially it's slow and then it's fast. Okay. So now let's select this graph, and by holding shift, I'm going to move this handle over here at the center and move this handle over here. So what this graph indicates that initially the speed is going to be a very less, and suddenly it will become a fast, and after that point it will again become slow. So if I see this animation, we will get something like that. Okay. Now after this, what we need to do is that along with this, there should be a tracking animation as well. So I don't need to add another animate. Even in this animator, we have this option called add, which means basically they are asking for us that along with the position, do you want to animate any extra properties as well? So we will go to the add menu and we'll go to the property, and I want to animate tracking. So I'll click on this tracking option and let's reduce the tracking initially. Okay, so now I have two initial properties of this text. One is position and one is tracking. So if I see this now, I'll get something like that. Now what I want is that there should be some thing that should hide this text initially. So for that, what I'm gonna do, let's hit U to minimize all of this. I'm going to select this text. I'm going to go in rectangle option, and I'm going to click a mask like this on this text. So if you check it out, this animation now, we are getting something like that because we have created mask on this text. Now, one thing we need to do is that if you see at the start, the text is still visible. So to fix that, what we can do, we can simply go to the text. We can go to this animator one, and position, we will move this a little bit more downward. So our text is gonna look like that. Okay. Now let's go somewhere around 10 seconds over here. Let's select this text and press S for scaling option. Initial scale is 10. I'm going to make this value 20 and create one keyframe. I'll go to around 2.10 frames and let's make this value 100. And select those keyframe, we will hit F9 again. We'll go to the graph editor. We will select this graph. By holding shift, we'll move this handle over here and we'll move this handle over here like that. So if we check it out, this animation, we'll get something like that. Okay. Now what I want is that along with that, there should be some another animations as well, which is should be at the background. So for that, I am first, we will press create one background. So for the background color, I choose white color and simply hit OK and hit OK. And let's bring this downwards. Along with that, select this text and hit Ctrl D, duplicate it, hit U, And this time I don't want any scaling keyframes, so I'll delete the scaling keyframes. Basically, I have created a duplicate of this layer, and over here I am going to change the layer color so it will be easy for us to the fact that this is a different layer. Now for this one, I'm going to press F and I try to increase the scale in such a way that it should cover the entire composition. So let's select this text and we have already increased the size. Again hit Ctrl D, press V and let's try to bring this upward. Then again hit Ctrl D and let's try to bring this downwards like that. I know it looks weird, but we'll fix that later. Okay. And now this animation should start to happen when the scaling is happening over here. So I'm going to move this over here after this, and with the help of open square bracket as well, so you can bring this over here. So what will happen? You will get this animation over here like that. Okay. And this animation should be behind or just to text over here. Now, this just to text is not visible. So to make it visible, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to select my rectangle tool over here, which is our shape tool, and we are going to choose option called fill and hit OK. And we will choose white color, and by holding shift, I'm going to create one, not shift, but we will simply create this rectangle, and then select this rectangle and again press Ctrl Alt O to bring this anchor point at the center. Then we'll go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically, and bring this behind this just to text. Okay, on the start. So now if you check it out there, you will get 0 and then we will get 2. Okay. And now over here, if you see all of the three animations are happening together. We don't want that. So I take a gap of a few frames like that. And this one should be also like that. So there is going to be a little bit gap in this. Okay. So this is how you will get this kind of text animation. Now, along with that, there should be some tilt in this animation. So for that, what we can do, I'm going to select all of these layers except this white background, and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift Sync to pre-compose, and I'm going to call it as text animation and hit OK. Then we'll go to the effect and presets panel, and we are going to search for one effect known as transform effect. So let's apply that transform. In distort, you will find this transform and simply double click to apply. And now basically what transform does is that it will give additional properties like position, scale and etc. For example, if this text animation, if we hit T on keyboard, which is simply shortcut key for position, we can change the position. But along with this, there is some extra position property. If you move this from here, as you guys can see, we will get something like that as well. So that's the use of transform. But along with this option, for example, if you go in transform properties, we got position, scale and rotation and opacity. But when we apply this transform effect, we will get some additional axes as well. For example, this is the option called skew, which we are going to use. Now the skew axis is 0, and if I'm increase this value to 10, or let's say -6 over here, as you guys can see, our text is gonna look like that. And if I click on this icon over here, which makes it the extra options also visible like that. So if I check it out this animation now, you will get this proper animation over here like that. And then I'm going to hit N on 4 seconds. So if you hit N, our entire area is going to be up to 4 seconds only like that. Okay. If you want, you can take even less as well. Now the color of this animation looks weird to me. So what I'm going to do, I'll right click new and create one adjustment layer. And I'm going to go in my effect and presets panel and I'll search for effect called tilt. And let's double click to apply. And now after applying this text effect on the adjustment layer tint, what this effect does is that after this adjustment layer, whatever layer which has black and white color, it will swap this. For example, over here, map black to is black and map white to white. If I swap this, as you guys can see, now the white becomes black and black becomes white. Okay. And it's not just like you can change this color, but you can choose this black color and you can choose a little bit grayish version of this color, and you can choose this white color, and you can choose something like this neon color as well. Okay, so it's totally up to you how you want to animate your text. We can create something like that. Now, this is how you can animate this. Otherwise, if you are specific about your colors, instead of applying this tint effect, what you can do, let's hide this tint effect for now. I can select this white solid layer over here. I can press Ctrl Shift Y, which is a shortcut key to open the project solid settings, and you can pick up any particular color. For example, I want to pick up this grayish color, and I'll hit OK and hit OK like that. Okay. Similarly, by picking up this, press Ctrl Shift Y to select again to open the project solid settings. Go inside this and select this and hit Ctrl C to copy, which is a color code, and hit OK and hit OK. Okay, so now we have colored for code. Let's go inside this text animation. We need to select this middle shape. We need to go to the field and we need to hit Ctrl V to copy that color code like that. Now this text over here, which is at the center, I'm gonna go in my character menu and I choose white color, and all the other layers over here, I'm gonna go in my character menu, and for them, I'm want this neon green. So now if you see over here, I'm gonna get this kind of a text animation over here. Now, if you enable this, we don't need to enable this adjustment layer with 10 because now our text is different. So I'm going to delete this adjustment layer and I'll right click new and I'll add another adjustment layer. But this time I'm gonna go in my effect and presets panel and I'm going to search for CC Windshield effect and double click to apply. What this effect does is that it will create some blackish reflection on the background like that, and you can adjust the angle of view according to your needs. Okay, like that. So now if you check it out this animation, we will get something like that. So this is how you can create this kind of simple text reveal animation inside of After Effects. So here we are in Adobe After Effects. Let's quickly create another composition over here, which we are going to name it as always, we will name it as main animation. Width is going to be 1920, height is 180, frame rate is 30, duration is 1 minute long, and background color is white color, and simply hit OK. Then go to choose click and light option and simply hit on title selection. Then I'm going to make this fit, and now we are going to type our text, and for the font you can choose any font you want, but I would suggest that try to use something which is bold. Okay, so let's choose in font. I'm going to type my text top over here and let's choose black color, and let's increase the size. I don't want this italic. Along with that, it should be in a regular format, and I'm going to forward it as, let's select this, press Ctrl Alt O, go to the align tab, align it horizontally and align it vertically like that. And now we are going to type our text. Let's type dope. Okay, let's select this and press Ctrl Alt O. Go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. I'll go to the character menu and I'll try to make this a bold. Okay, like that. Now, along with this, let's select this and hit Ctrl D. Let's hide this layer, and over here, I'm going to type more text over here like that. So, okay, so now we have this two as a reference here. So let's focus on this DOPE. Okay, hit Ctrl D. Select this and hit Ctrl D to duplicate. Bring this at the top and change the color of this layer to yellow. And let's lock all of the layers. Let's select this layer and let's try to choose red color just for now. And let's remove this OPE and we need only this D, and make sure to press Ctrl Alt Home. Press V for selection tool, and by holding shift, try to adjust it properly over here with the help of arrow keys. Then select this layer and hit Ctrl D, and this time let's select this and move this over here, and let's make this O. Make sure to choose capital O and try to bring this over here. Again hit Ctrl D. Let's move this over here and change this text to capital P. Select this with the help of arrow keys. I'm going to adjust it. Again select this, hit Ctrl D. Let's change this text to E. Select this and try to bring this up to this. Okay, and select all the layers and press Ctrl Alt Home to make sure that align anchor point to the center. Now press P for position to create one keyframe, then press R for rotation to create another keyframes and hit E. Okay. Then after somewhere around 1 second over here, let's select this D and let's try to move this over here. Let's try to move this over here, and this over here, like that. Then somewhere around at 2 second, Control C, Control V, the first keyframe, like that. Then somewhere around at 1 second, let's make this rotation 360-degree, like that. And at the start, let's make this value 0, like that. So if we check it out this, we will get this, and then we'll get this. Okay. Now let's select those keyframes and let's hit F9. Go to the graph, select this graph. By holding shift, move this handle over here and move this handle over here. Okay. So if we check it out this, we will get something like that. Now what I want is that somewhere in this point over here, there should be some change in text because our second text is moved. So let's enable this move word over here. Okay, like that, and enable the motion blur for this text over here. So it will be a little bit faster. And then somewhere around at this portion, like at this point where this are quite blurry, I'm going to select this T and this E. Let's go inside this text options of both layers and create one keyframe on source text of both of these layers. Okay, and now hit U and hit page down button one time to go one frame forward and select this D. Go to the text tool and let's make this M. Similarly, select this E and let's make this text E over here. Okay, I forgot that E is same. So basically we need to change this P. So let's delete this keyframe on E and let's make those keyframes on this P. Create one keyframe over here, go one frame forward, and this time we need to type V over there. Okay, so we will get something like that, and then hit U. And at this point over here, we need to adjust this portion properly. Select this O, try to move this over here with the help of arrow keys. Move this V over here, select this key and try to move this over here, like that. Okay, like that. Select all of this and pick U. So if you check it out this, we will get this and then you will get this. Then go to the start and create one keyframe on the source text as well as over here, because we have applied source text keyframe on this P and D only. Then go to around 2, select this and create another keyframe on there. Then hit page down button one time. Select all of these layers, hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V, right click, keyframe assistance, sequence layers. Select all of this, hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V, right click, keyframe assistance, sequence layers. Time reverse keyframe. Sorry. Select this, hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V, right click, keyframe assistance, time reverse keyframe. Select this, hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V, right click, keyframe assistance, time reverse keyframe. So we will get that again over here. Now if I go to 4 frames and hit N, and let's hide this move word, and if I check it out this animation, I'll get something like that. Okay, now just check it out whether on source text we will get this loop out expression or not. If yes, if we will get that, then as you guys can see, it's not supporting loop out expression. So what you can do over here is that let's take a gap of 4 frames. Select this O, move this over here, move this over here, and move this over here, like that. So we will get something like that. Then go to the start, select all of them, and by holding Alt, open square bracket, move this over here. Okay. Now select this E keyframe and hit U. And let's see where is the last keyframe of this, which is somewhere around over here, and hit N over here. So now if we check it out this animation, we will get this kind of a text animation or transition animation. And select those keyframes, not keyframe but text. I'm going to choose something like neon green, and I'm going uh, for all of this text over here. But one thing is that we need to understand is that because we have applied keyframe on each and every source text, so it would be a very problematic to change the key text color over here. So instead of that, what I'm going to do, I'll select this D, I'll go to the effect and presets panel and I'll apply fill effect. And in that fill effect, I'm going to pick up that neon green color. So select this fill effect, hit Ctrl C, select all the remaining layers and hit Ctrl V. Then press Ctrl Y and choose grayish color. Hit OK, and try to bring this at the bottom. Then go to the effect and presets panel and search for CC vignette effect and typically to apply and increase the amount as well as increase the angle of view. Okay, so if you check it out this, we are gonna get something like that. Okay, like that. So then I'm going to select these layers and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift C and let's for it as text and hit OK. Then after that, select this and hit Ctrl D. Select this second layer and go to the effect and presets panel and search for find edge effect and double click to apply. And with the help of arrow keys, try to move the specs a little bit over here. And if I choose invert, I'll get this kind of lines. Then press F4 and choose screen option. Then we will see that lines only. Okay, so it's totally up to you how you want to use it. I'm going to pick up it like that only. Like that. Then there should be some background element to this. So for that, I'm going to press G, for which is a shortcut key for pen tool. And I'm going to choose white color for the stroke. And stroke width, I'm going to choose 0.5 and I don't want any fill. So I'll delete this fill. And from here to here, I'm going to create one stroke. Then select this and press Ctrl Alt Home. Press Ctrl Alt Home. Let's make this fit like that. Select this and with the help of Align tab, I'm going to choose Align Left. Then go over here. Uh, go go to the Add menu and choose Repeater. Go to the repeater and let's increase the number of copies like that. Also go to the transform and decrease the copies somewhere up to this, and let's increase the copies up to this. Then minimize it. Select this shape layer, hit Ctrl D, press R for rotation and rotate it on 90°. Then go to the align tab, align horizontally and go to the align top. Press S over here. Unlink this and let's try to increase the scale. Select both of this and let's try to bring this downwards, and let's change the stroke width to 0.5 or something like that. Okay, so we'll get something like that. Now after that, if you want, then you can right click new and create one adjustment layer. Go to the effect and presets panel and search for blow effect and double click to apply. And you can increase the blow radius, increase the blow threshold, and decrease the blow intensity to 0.3 or something like that. So we will get this kind of a blow effect as well. So this is how you can create this kind of a text transition. So here we are in Adobe After Effects. Let's create a new composition and we are going to call it as main animation, as always we do. Width we are going to choose 1920, height 180, frame rate is 30 and duration is 1 minute long, and background color is white color. But let's do one thing. This time duration we will take a much more, up to 2 seconds maybe, and simply hit OK. Then go to choose grid and guide option and simply hit on title selection and let's make this fit. Now over here what I want is that I want ellipse and I don't want any stroke, so I'll delete this stroke and go to the fill option and choose black color for it, and by holding shift I'm going to create one ellipse over there. Now let's select this ellipse and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Press P for position and let's make this value 100 properly like that. Or let's make this 150, or you can make this for example let's say 200 as well. Okay, similarly on this portion let's make this value 150. Okay, so 150 plus 200. Now I'm going to select this and I'll hit Ctrl D and I'll press P And let's make this value 400 and let's see where it's going, or let's make this 500. Yeah, so basically we are going to add 300 value on each and every one. So hit Control D, ST. Let's make and type plus 300. Again hit Control D, press P, go over here and type plus 300. Again hit Control D, press P. Let's go over here and after this again type plus 300. And again hit Control D, press C, and again let's try to add plus 300. So it's now over here. Okay, now let's select all of them like that, and hit view to minimize all of this. Select this and hit Control D, and let's try to bring this at the top and change the color of this layers to yellow. Okay, then I'm going to right click new and I'll create one null object. I'm going to select all the yellow layers and I'll make it apparent with this null. Then select this null and press P for position, and on this Y position I'm going to type plus 200 now. But as you guys can see, the plus 300 value is too much. So instead of plus 300, let's type plus 200 and let's see. Yeah, this looks good to me. Then select all the yellow color layers, hit Control D, and let's bring them at the top and change the color of this one to something else, for example aqua. Then select those remaining yellow layers and remove their parenting. Then select this null object again. Let's go and let's add plus 200 again like that. Then again select this blue layers, hit Control D, bring them at the top and change their color to pink. Select the bottom layers which are in this color and remove their parenting. Then select this null object and this time in this null object add plus 200 again. Okay, like that. Then for the one last time, select those pink color layers, hit Control D to bring them at the top, change their color to something different. Select those pink color layers by holding Shift, and let's remove their parenting. Then select this null object and add plus 200 in it. Okay, and then we will delete that null object because now we don't need that. So these are our shape layers. Now let's select all of them and press E for position to create one keyframe. Go somewhere around 2.20 and create one keyframe on each. Let's go to the start and go to the align tab, and we are going to choose align vertically. So now all of them are over here, and let's try to bring this at the top like that. Okay, so if I hit play, I'm gonna get this kind of animation. Then select those keyframes, all the keyframes over here, and let's take F9. Go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding Shift, select this, and move this handle at this point. Select this and move this handle at this point. Okay, let's make this fit like that. So if you check it out, this animation, we will get something like that. But this animation is very slow, so I'll select our last keyframes and I try to bring this somewhere around, let's say, 1 second. Okay, so we'll get something like that. And around 1 second, I'm going to press S and create one keyframe. And let's go somewhere around 2 seconds. And let's try to increase the scale of this each and every sphere until it's going to cover entire portion with blackness. Okay, like that. Then select those scaling keyframes and hit F9. Go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding Shift, move one handle at this point. Then select this and move one handle at this point. Okay, like that. So if we check it out, this animation now, we got this and then we got this. Okay, and now I want this animation to be one by one. So I'll hit page down button one time. I'll select this layer first, which is 30th layer, and select this by holding Alt, close square bracket to trim up to this. Right click, keyframe assistance, sequence layers, and hit OK. Please zoom out and let's increase this value. So now if you check it out, this we will get something like that. Okay, but I want this one to start from the top. So let's do one thing. You will select this layer first, and then by holding Shift, I'm going to select this 30th layer. Right click, keyframe assistance, sequence layers, and hit OK. Okay, and let's increase the duration of this layer. Okay, like that. So we'll get something like that. And let's see where this animation is ending, which is ending at this point. Okay, so select all of them and press Ctrl Shift C, and we are going to call it as animation and hit OK, like that. Now this is our animation. Press Ctrl Y to create one solid background, and we are going to call it as white background. Okay, so now we have this animation over here like that. Now let's create our text here. So with Ctrl N, and we are going to call it as text and hit OK. And I'm going to type whatever text you want. Let's type just do it only. I don't know what to write over here, so I'm going to choose this font. Let's type just do it. Okay, let's select this and press Ctrl Alt Home. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally and align it vertically. Press S and let's increase the scale of this. And select this, hit Ctrl D, press V, and let's try to bring this over here. Hit Ctrl D and let's try to bring this over here like that. Select those two layers and go to the character menu and choose white color. Not for this, but for this and this. Choose white color and choose black color stroke, and let's choose stroke to 2 pixels. Then press Ctrl Y to create one solid background and bring this setting downwards like that. Okay, then go to the main animation and bring this text comp over here like that, and let's choose alpha mask. So now if you check it out, this animation, we are gonna get something like that. Okay, then select this portion over here like that, and let's do one thing, we will hide this white solid, we don't need that. Okay, so now if you check it out, this animation and if you hit play, we are getting something like that. So I'm going to select this animation and I'll hit Ctrl D and I'll bring this at the bottom, and I'm going to enable this layer like that. And now if you see this animation, we are gonna get something like that. So let's select this animation, select this text layer, go to the effect and presets panel and search for tint effect and double click to apply, and let's swap this color. So if you check it out, this, we are gonna get something like that. Okay, now if you go to the animation and check it out where your animation is ending, I mean where is the last keyframe, you will get to know that this is my last keyframe over here. So we are going to bring one marker to this like that. Okay, just for our understanding over here. Similarly, in this comp as well, I'm going to bring this marker over here. Now let's select all of these layers and press Ctrl Shift C, and we are going to call it as 01 text. Okay, like that. Then I know that my animation is in the form of loop at this point, so I hold Alt, close square bracket to trim up this like that. Okay, so if you check it out, this we will get something like that. Then before the last keyframe or somewhere around at 3 seconds, I'm going to select this layer and I'll hit Ctrl D, and with the help of open square bracket, I'll move this over here like that. And let's apply tint effect. But before that, what you can do, instead of doing directly like that, I hit Ctrl D few times like that. I'm going to select this, and by holding Alt close square bracket, I try to trim off to this. Then select this fifth layer. Then by holding Shift, select this first layer, right click, keyframe assistance, sequence layers, and hit OK. So now all of them are arranged in a proper manner one by one, and select those layers like that. And let's try to increase their duration from this to a little bit more like that. And now all we need to do is select this layer over here, apply tint effect and select this color like that. After this, this should be like black only. Then we will select this layer, apply tint effect and choose swap. Okay, so what will happen even after this, we will select this and choose swap like that. Then we will go to the first one, this layer, hit I to go at this point and press D. Then we will get this animation like that. Then we will get this animation. Then select this and hit I and press N over there. So now if you check it out, this animation in a proper way, we will get this entire animation in the form of loop one like that. As you guys can see, we are gonna get something like that. Okay, like that. And just in case if you want some extra, simply right click new and create one null object, or create one adjustment layer, and you can add one effect called noise effect, and choose noise and choose 25 to add one noise texture, and you can add posterized time effect to give this a proper 2D look, or you can choose 15 frames per second like that. So your animation will look a little bit big, what we call, I don't know what the term. You can choose a noise value of 250 as well, so you will get this kind of a texture in your animation like that. And if you want, you can apply a CC vintage effect and double click. So you will get some more look like that. Okay, otherwise it's okay. This looks quite weird like that. Then again, I'm going to right click new and create one another adjustment layer, and I'm going to search for CC lens effect and double click to apply. And we got this bulge. We don't need that. I'm going to increase the size of this somewhere up to this, just to get some extra bulk over here like that. Okay, over like this. Okay, so this is how you can create this kind of a complex looping type animation inside of After Effects. So here we are in Adobe Photoshop, and now I have this Google logo, and just like our previous tutorials, I want each and every alphabet on different layers. So I'm going to select my rectangle tulip selection tool, and shortcut key is M. I'm going to select my this this G, and I'll hit Ctrl X to cut it out. New layer and press Ctrl Shift V to paste in place. Same thing I'm gonna follow for this O as well. Hit Ctrl X, new layer, Ctrl Shift V to paste in place. Same thing for this O as well. Hit Ctrl X, new layer, Ctrl Shift V, hide it. Then we will select this G, hit Ctrl X, new layer, Ctrl Shift V, hide this. Then we have this L, select this, hit Ctrl X, new layer, and press Ctrl Shift V. Okay, like that. And save this as a Photoshop file. Then go to the After Effects, create a new composition, and we are going to name it as main animation. Width I'm going to choose 1920, height 180, frame rate is 30, and duration I think 1 minute duration is enough, and background color is white, and simply hit OK. Then go to choose grid and guide option and simply hit on title selection. Then go to this options and let's make this fit. Now what I'm going to do over here is that I'm going to press Ctrl I to import my logo file, and footage, composition, written layers and sizes. Import as, choose this option and simply hit import and click on OK. Now let's double click to open this, and we have all of this logo layers. So select this and hit Ctrl C to copy. Go to the main animation and hit Ctrl V. Then right click new and create one null object. Select all of them and make it apparent with this null. Then select this null, press S, and let's scale the size a little bit. Press P for position and try to bring this at the bottom, not bottom but properly at the center. And let's delete this null object, we don't need that anymore. Select all of them and press P for position. So by holding shift, I am going to select the position keyframes, right click and choose separate dimension. Then we are going to create one keyframe at X and one keyframe at Y. Then go to around 1 second, again create one keyframe and one keyframe at Y. Go to around 10 seconds and again create one keyframe on Y. And in middle of that, let's try to bring this a little bit upward. Then in middle, let's try to bring this again upward somewhere up to this, like that. And at the start, we have to go to the Align tab, choose Align horizontally, and then choose Align vertically. So now if you see, we are getting something like that. Okay. During this portion, make sure that there is no other keyframe on X, like that. Okay. Now in search option, I'm going to type Y, so it will show us only Y position keyframes. I'm going to select those keyframes and let's hit F9 to ease those keyframes. Go to the graph editor, right click and make sure to choose edit speed graph. We will select this graph, and by holding shift I'll move this handle over here. Select this and try to move this handle at this point. Select this, move this handle at this point. Select this and move this handle at this point. Same procedure for this one. By holding shift, move this handle over here. Select this and move this handle over here. Select this and move this handle over here. Select this and move this handle over here, like that. So if we check it out this animation now, we are gonna get something like that. Now press R for rotation to create one keyframe. Hit U. Let's go somewhere around over here and let's make this one complete rotation. Then press S to create one keyframe. Hit U. Go somewhere around over here to create another keyframe and go to the start and let's make this value 5. Okay, so we will get something like that. Okay, now this animation looks a little bit faster. So not faster but slow. We need to make it fast. So let's select all of those keyframes, and by holding Alt, I'm going to bring them up to 1 second only. So we will get this animation a little bit faster. So again, by holding Alt, I'll drag it up to 20 frames. So we'll get this animation a little bit faster, like that. Okay. Now hit U to minimize all of them, and I'm going to adjust them randomly, like that, over here. Okay. So now if you check it out, this we'll get something like that. Then select all of them and enable the motion blur, like that. So we will get something like this. Okay. So this is a very basic animation which we are going to need this later. So, and if you see this in full resolution, we will get this kind of a look to this. So select all of them and press Ctrl Shift C, and we are going to call it as logo animation and hit OK. Now let's hide this. Now I'm going to select this logo comp and I'll bring this over here and I'll press S for scaling option and I'll try to scale it downward and I'll try to bring this over here. This is just for my reference. Okay, so let's lock this layer. Now I'm going to select my ellipse tool, and for the fill I'm going to pick up this blue color and hit OK. By holding shift I'm going to create this kind of ellipse. Select this ellipse and press Ctrl Alt O to align the respective anchor point at the center. Go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically, like that. Now I'm going to select this ellipse, and now if you see over here is that in this logo we have GOOGL. Basically we have 6 alphabets. Okay, and now I'm going to select this ellipse and I'll go to the effect and presets panel and I'm going to search for radial wipe effect, and at the bottom you will find this effect and double click to apply. And if you increase this transition completion, you will get something like this effect. Okay, like that. Okay, now what we can do right now, it's clockwise, so let's make this counterclockwise. And now initially if it's 100 and if you increase this value, we will get something like that. Okay, so now let's create one keyframe over here and hit U, and then somewhere around 20 frame let's make this value 100. After that, let's select this and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Go to the fill option. With the help of this picker, I'm going to pick up this color and hit OK. And then hit U, and let's increase this value. So it will, let's make this up to 20 maybe, or not 20, but let's make this 50 or something. Then hit Ctrl D, go to the fill option and choose this yellow color and hit OK. Then hit U, and let's decrease this value to somewhere around over here. Then hit Ctrl D again, hit U, go to the fill option. With the help of this picker, we are going to pick up this color. Select this, hit U, and let's increase this value up to this. Hit Ctrl D, hit U, go to the picker and pick up this green color and hit OK. And let's increase this value up to this. Then again hit Ctrl D, hit U, and go to the fill option and pick up this red color and hit OK. And hit U, like that. So if you check it out this animation now, we are gonna get something like that. Okay. Then we'll take a gap of few frame, like we have this. Then we'll take a gap of few frame to create another keyframe on each and every layer. Then go few frame forward over here, and I'm going to select all of these layers, and let's make this value totally to 0, like that, like that, like that, and like that. So at this point we'll get something like this. So first we got this, and then we got this. Now somewhere around at this point, I'm going to select this ellipse and I'll hit Control D, and this time I'm going to choose white color over here, and I'll hit U, and I'm going to delete those keyframes. And with the help of open square bracket, first I'll bring this over here, and let's make this value 100 and create one keyframe. Then somewhere around at this point, I'm going to increase this value, decrease this value totally like that, until the entire stuff is gone. So if you check it out this now, we got this and we got this, and this size of this one should be a little bit more. So press S and let's make this 102. So what will happen that when it's going to cover, there is not going to be any border. Okay, as you guys can see now, if you maximize this scene like that, if you are still getting that border, then let's try to increase the size of this a little bit more, like that. Okay, over here. Otherwise, what you can do is that let's make this size 102 only, like that, and we will later make it a mask. So how we are going to do that? Let's see. First, we need to animate the graph editor over here. So hit U and select all those keyframes and hit F9. Then go to the graph editor, select this graph, and by holding shift, move this handle over here and move this handle over here, like that. So if you check it out this, you will get this. Okay, now all of this hit U, and you, if you want, then you can select those keyframe and try to move them a little bit over here. Also don't forget to increase the duration from here as well. Okay, like that. Then select all the remaining layers and press Ctrl Shift C, and we are going to call it as animation, or you can call it as circle. Okay, then this layer, which is in wide format, hit enter and let's call it as mask, and press F4, and we are going to choose alpha inverted mask. So what will happen? It will be a gone. Okay, like that. And now as you guys can see, there is no shadow or extra bottom line. Okay, now I'm going to select all these layers and press Ctrl Shift C, and we are going to call it as circle animation, and hit OK, like that. Okay, now let's select this circle animation, hit Ctrl D, select this, press S, and let's make this 120. Okay, and if like that, and you can press R and you can make this 45-degree rotation as well, or let's make this 30, or I think 45 would be okay. Again hit Ctrl D, select this, and let's make this 90-degree rotation. Then press S and let's make this 140. Then select this, hit Ctrl D, select this, and let's make this 160. Press R and let's make this plus 45. Then select this, hit Ctrl D, select this. After that, again add plus 45 and press S, and let's make this 180. Then again select this, hit Ctrl D, select this, press R for rotation, and let's again add plus 45. Press S and let's make this plus 20, like that. So if you check it out this, we are gonna get something like that. Now what we can do, we'll go inside this circle over here, like that, over here, and now there should be something that should look like a stroke to it. So for that, I'm going to select my ellipse, and by holding shift, I'll create one ellipse. Let's select this and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the align tab, align it horizontally, and then align it vertically. Now initially, when this is happening, I want something like that. Okay, over here. So now if you check it out, this animation, it will look something like that. Now let's go somewhere around over here, press S. Let's make this 0 initially to create one keyframe. Go few frame forward and let's increase the size of this up to this. Select those keyframe and hit F9. Okay, like that. Go to the graph, select this and by holding shift move this handle over here like this. Okay, like that. So we are going to get something like this, and if you check it out, this portion over here, we will get something like this. Now I want there should be a gap of at least 2 frames on each. So we will select this and let's move this over here with the help of open square bracket. I'm going to try to, create a gap between these lines. So if you check it out this, you will get something like that. Okay, over here. Or you can start from here as well if you want. You can start to take a gap from this portion as well. It's totally up to you from where you want to start, like that. Okay, like that. So, and you can go inside this circle animation, go inside this circle, press F4 and enable the motion blur as well. Okay, like that. Now we will delete this logo. We don't need that. So first we got this animation and then we got this. Okay. Now what I want is that I'll go to the circle animation, and this animation over here, which is at the circle, it should start to happen somewhere around at this point. Okay, so select this layer, hit U, and let's try to bring this two together. Okay, so what will happen? It will look like it's happening over there. Okay, and let's try to play around with this shape over here, and let's see what kind of results we are gonna get. We will get something like that. And when this circle is gonna shrink, at this point, I want my logo animation should start to get revealed. So I'll try to bring this logo animation over here, and I'll try to bring them at the top somewhere around, it should be around at this point. Okay, like that. So if you check it out this, we'll get something like that. Okay. Now select all the circle layers. I'll hit Ctrl D to duplicate. I'll bring this method top and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift C and I'm going to call it as find edge. The reason being I'm going to apply this effect called find edge effect, and double click to apply and choose invert the layers. Then press Ctrl Y to create one solid background and bring this at the bottom. Select this find edge and choose screen, and with the help of open arrow keys try to adjust those layers a little bit over here like that, and try to bring those layers a little bit backward somewhere around at this point. Okay, like that. Now select this Google logo, press S and try to increase the scale a little bit like that, and it should happen like this. Okay, so if you check it out this, we look at this, and then there should be a little bit glitch at this point. So initially I'm going to adjust the scale of this logo a little bit like that, and when this entire animation is done, I'm going to select this Google logo and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift D to split this layer. I'll hit page down button 1 to 2 times. I'll press Ctrl Shift D again and press S, and I'll try to decrease the scale little bit. Similarly for this one as well, which is splitted over here, I'll try to decrease the scale and I'll select this find edge effect on this layer. I Ctrl C, select this layer, hit Ctrl V and choose in screen, or you can choose multiply as well. And if you want, then don't invert it. Let's see how does it looks on screen. I think it looks weird, so let's choose multiply only like that. So we will get this kind of a bridge look. So if you check it out this, you will get this kind of look over here. Okay, if you want, then you can increase the duration of this glitch over here like that. Okay, then I'm going to select this logo animation. I'll hit Control D and I'll bring this at the top. I'm duplicating this multiplied layer and I'll try to increase the duration of it over here. If you check it out this, and for the frame, I want it to be there. Then I go few frame forward and I'll press Control Shift D again to move this. Okay, so if you check it out this, you will get this kind of a Google reveal over here. Okay, then I'll bring this layer again over here, which is this one, and I'm gonna go and create a mask like animation on this. So for that, I'm going to select this and I'm going to create my rectangle tool. Then I'll create a mask on this layer like this. Go to this mask and create one keyframe on mask path. Go few frame forward up to this over here. Create another keyframe on this mask path. Press V and select this mask path and try to bring this from here to here like that. Okay, so we'll get something like that. Okay, and if you want, then you can move this keyframe. Let's bring this a little bit over here. If you want, then you can bring this a little bit closer as well. So we will get this small glitch like that. Okay, hit U. So now if you check it out this, you will get something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to hit A. So this is very a short logo animation. Now over here, if you see over here, this animation is still over there and I want a little bit rotation. So I can go to the circle animation over here. I can select this circle layer. I'll press R for rotation to create one keyframe. I'll go few frame forward and let's make this 45-degree rotation. So what will happen? There is going to be a rotation of that. If you want, then you can make this 90-degree rotation as well. It will be a little bit faster. And if you check it out this over here, you will get something like that. Okay. Yeah. So as you guys can see, this is how you can create this kind of a logo reveal, which is very simple. And it's kind of a, something which is happening with help of Shaky. And I found this in logo animation. If you go inside this and if you check it out this over here, uh, they are not properly popping up from the center. So to fix that, I'm going to select this and I'll press Alt open square bracket, not Alt open square bracket, but only open square bracket, and I'll hit U, and I'm going to try to bring the X position of this to here, like that. Okay, and then I am going to adjust then, and again, alternately like that, the way I want. Okay, like that. So now if I see my final result, I'll get this kind of a animation over here. So yeah, this is how you can create this kind of a logo reveal. So here we are in Adobe After Effects. Let's do first thing first. We will create a new composition. And as always, we are going to call it as main animation. Width we are going to choose over here. It should be 1920. And height I'm going to choose 180. Frame rate is 30. Duration is 1 minute long. And for the background, I'm going to choose black color and simply hit OK. Then go to choose grid and rad option and simply hit on title selection. Then again, I'm going to hit on Control N to create another composition, and this time I'm going to name it as strip 01. Okay, and for the width over here, I'm going to take 2000 value, and height I'm going to choose 80. Okay, like that. If you want more than that, you can hit Control K over here and you can choose width as much as you want. Let's do one thing. We will take height 50. Okay, so now we have this long strip. Then press Ctrl Y to create one solid background, and we are going to choose white color for this and hit OK, and let's lock this layer. And now I'm going to select my text tool and I'm going to type my text over here. You are free to type whatever text you want. I'm going to type some random text and I'm going to choose Babel's font. You're free to choose whatever font you want. Let's try to bring this at the center. Okay, I'm going to type shake it up. Okay, This is just a random text I'm going to type. So like, yeah, like that. And select this text and go to the character menu, and let's try to increase the font size. Hit Control Alt Home. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. I'm going to select all of this text and I'll hit Control C to copy. After a few times, I'll hit spacebar 2 times and hit Control V. Again hit 2 times and hit Control V. Again 2 times, hit Control V. Again and again and again, like that. Then select this text and press S for scaling option, and let's scale the size a little bit, somewhere around like this. So our main motto is that it should fit this composition. Then select this text layer and hit Ctrl D. Select this first layer and press P for position to create one keyframe. Then go somewhere around 50 seconds, and let's by holding shift I'm going to move this from this to this. Then select the second layer and make it apparent with this first. So if you check it out just now, we will get this kind of animation. Then you can alt click on this stopwatch and you can apply loop out expression on it, like that. So we will get this animation in the form of loop even after this font. Okay. Then we'll go to the main animation and we will try to create our text layer over here. So before that, let's press Ctrl Y to create one solid background. And we are going to choose grayish color background over here, like that. And press Ctrl Shift Y to open the solid settings again. Let's choose a little bit more gray, darker grayish, like that. Hit OK and hit OK. Then we are going to select this and we'll go to the effect and presets panel and we'll search for CC Vignette effect and double click to apply, and then we will lock this layer. Now I'm going to select my text tool and I'm going to choose white color for this and let's type our text over here. I'm going to type shake it. Let's select this, press step up. Okay, let's select this text and press Ctrl Alt O. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally. After that, I'm going to select this and I'll hit Ctrl D to duplicate. And by holding Shift, let's try to bring this downwards. Then press Y and by holding Ctrl, try to bring this anchor point at the top. And over here, I'm going to type my second text. Only I'll type break only. Let's select this and press S and we'll try to match it the scale of this. Let's select both of this and go to the Align tab and select both theirs and choose align horizontally, like that. We have to make sure the scaling should be get matched. Then we will select this text, hit Ctrl D and by holding Shift, or you can with the help of arrow keys as well, try to adjust it over here and change this text to 8 up. Okay, then select this, press S and try to adjust the scale, like that. Select all the scale layers and again go to the Align tab and choose Align horizontally. Okay, like that. And on the basis of that, you can try to adjust the scale of this and try to adjust the position as well. Okay, so now this looks good to me. I'm going to select all these 3 layers and I'll try to bring this over here, like that. Then right click new and create one adjustment layer. Select all these layers and make it apparent with this adjustment layer. Select this adjustment layer, press S and let's try to increase the scale of it somewhere around like there. Press P for position and try to bring this over here. And let's do this what we call adjustment layer. Now hit Ctrl 0 to open the project settings and let's bring our strip layer over here. Press S for scaling option and let's scale it like that. Hit W and let's rotate it like that. Okay, and let's try to move this over here and let's decrease the scale. Hit Ctrl D. Let's try to move this. Hit W and let's rotate it like that. Again hit Ctrl D. Let's move this over here. Hit W and let's move this. Hit Ctrl D. Hit W and let's try to rotate it like that over here. Okay, so this is how we will get this. Now I'm going to select this strip. I'll go to the effect and presets panel and I'm going to search for tint effect and I'll click to apply. And instead of white color, I'm going to choose this kind of a neon green type of color and hit OK. And instead of black, I'm going to choose a grayish color like that. Okay. Then select this tint effect, hit Control C, select other layers and hit Control V. Now select those alternate layers and try to swap those colors like that. Okay, not this one, but let's select this one, or let's select this one and let's swap this color. Okay, like that. And if you check it out this, we will get animation for those. Now I'm going to select this shake as well as this eat up text, and I'll try to bring this at the top so it will be on the front of it. And you can try to select those and try to bring those a little bit, so we'll get that weird effect. Now I'm going to select all this 4 strip layers, and I'm going to go in effect and presets panel, and I'm going to search for wiggle position effect. Double click to apply like that, and we will get that wiggly animation over here. Okay, like that. Now I'm going to select my text layer, and I'll go to the effect and presets panel, and I'll search for drop shadow effect, and let's apply drop shadow, and let's increase the distance between these like that. Also increase the softness over here. Okay, then let's make this distance to 60. Then copy this drop shadow, hit Ctrl C, select all the layers and hit Ctrl V to there. Okay, so we will get that shadow effect like that over here. Okay, now after this, I'm going to select all of these layers except this background, and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift C, and I'm going to call it as text animation and hit OK. Now let's go inside this text animation. I'm going to select this strip. I'll go to the effect and presets panel, before that I'll select this strip and I'll hit Control D. I'll press R for rotation, and I'll try to rotate it like that, and I'm going to move this over here, and let's rotate it like this, and let's try to bring this downwards. I'm gonna go in effect and presets panel, and I'll search for Gaussian blur effect and double click to apply, and let's increase this Gaussian blur to it. Then select this and hit Control D. Try to bring this over here, and let's rotate it somewhere around over here, and increase the Gaussian blur more, and over here swap these colors. Okay, like that. And make sure that this trim should be behind each and every, like that. So after this is done, hit Control 0 and select this text animation, which is this one only, and hit Control D, double click to open this. And in this one, I don't need any text layers, so I'll delete those text. Similarly, at the center portion should be empty. So I'll try to bring this structures somewhere around at this point, as well as this one at this point. Okay, and I'll rotate this a little bit. Oh no, basically we are tweaking the structure, and let's bring this portion over here like that. Okay, over here. Now select both the layers and click on this icon. Then after that, I'm going to select this second layer and press S, and I'll try to decrease the scale of this somewhere around like this. Okay, and after that, let's select this. Let's make more small. Right click, new, and create one null object, and press Ctrl Alt Home. Then go to the Align tab, align it horizontally, and then align it vertically. Select all the 3 layers, and not 3 but 2 layers, and make it apparent with this null. Select this null, go to the start, press R for rotation, and let's rotate it like that. Create one keyframe, then press S to create another keyframe, and hit U. Then go somewhere around 4 seconds maybe, and let's make this rotation 0, and let's increase the scale of this somewhere up to this. Okay, select those keyframe, or simply select last keyframe and hit F9. So if you check it out, this animation, we are gonna get something like that. Okay, let's make this quarter resolution, and let's see how does it looks. We'll look at something like that, but this looks very slow. So let's try to bring this over here. Go to the graph editor, but before that, select both the keyframes and hit F9. Go to the graph, select this graph, hold shift and try to adjust this anchor point at this point. So we will get a little bit faster animation. Now along with that, I am going to select this null object. I'll press P for position and I'll click on the stopwatch and let's type wiggle 3,3. So what will happen along with this animation, we are gonna get some wiggle effect to this animation as well. Then at 4 seconds, I'm going to hit N. So what will happen? We will get something like that. Now along with this, there should be some kind of a camera focus animation over here. So I'll right click new and create one adjustment layer. Go to the effect and presets panel and search for Gaussian blur. And let's increase the value of Gaussian blur initially. Or instead of that, what you can do, instead of applying on this adjustment layer, I'll select this fourth layer, which is basically this one, and apply that Gaussian blur to this, and let's increase the value initially. So initially only this layer is visible, then create one keyframe, then somewhere around at this point, hit U and let's make this value 0, like that. And again, select those keyframe, hit F9, go to the graph, select this graph, hold shift, move this handle at this point and move this handle at this point. So you get something like that. Okay, over here. So this is how we will get this kind of a structure over here. Now to give some textures to it, what we can do over here is that we will add some effects to it. So simply right click new and basically we have already created this adjustment layer. So you can apply noise effect on it like that. And if you have some overlays, then you can use that as well. I'm going to choose this noise effect and I choose 25% of noise. If you want, you can go up to 40% as well, whatever suits you. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to apply posterized stand effect as well because I don't want to give it smooth look. I want some shaky look over there. So I'm going to choose posterized stand and frame rate 15. Okay, so what will happen? We will get this kind of a look over here. And if you want, you can select this null object and at this point you can increase the scale of it little bit up as well, like this. Okay, so now if we check it out, this animation, we are gonna give something like that. Okay, yeah. So this is how you can create this kind of a text creative text animation inside of After Effects. So first of all, here we are in Adobe Photoshop. Now I got this photo from freepik.com. I'll provide the link of this image in the description so you can download it from there. And now I have separated this man from the original pose like that. Okay, so to do that, all you need to do is select this image, go to the select options and select subject. Then after that, it will select this area and simply hit Ctrl J, so it will create something like that. Okay, I have already did this procedure over here, so I have this separate image over here. So I'm going to save this file. Then I'll go to the Adobe After Effects and I'm going to create a new composition and we are going to name it as me animation. Width is 1920, height is 180, frame rate is 30, and duration I'm going to choose 20 seconds only, and background color I'm going to choose white color, and then go to choose grid and guide option and simply hit on title selection. Then I'm going to press Ctrl R and I'm going to select my photo layer over here, or you can say Photoshop file. Go to the footage and choose composition, return layers and sizes and simply hit import and hit OK. Double click to open this, select your subject, hit Ctrl C to copy, go to the main animation and hit Ctrl V to paste it over here. And let's try to bring this at this point, press S and let's increase the scale of it. Okay, like that. Let's try to adjust the scale somewhere around like this. Let's make this 140 properly. Now let's select this and press E for position to create one keyframe, then R for rotation to create another keyframe. Hit U. Let's zoom in a little bit and let's go somewhere around 20 frames to create another keyframe. Now go to the start and let's rotate it a little bit like that, and let's try to move this over here. Select those keyframes and hit F9. Go to the graph editor, select this graph, right click and make sure that you are editing edit speed graph. select this graph, and by holding shift I'm going to move this handle up to this side, so we will get something like that. Then after that, at this point I'm going to press S to create one keyframe scale, then go few frame forward, and let's make this scale a little bit smaller. Then select those keyframe and hit F9. Okay, then go to the graph editor, select this graph, by holding shift move this handle over here and move this handle over here, so we will get something like that. So first we'll get this and then this. Let's bring this keyframe a little bit up to this, so if you check it out this, we'll get something like that. Now after that, I'm going to select this layer and I'll hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, and I'm going to select the second layer and I'm going to change this to yellow. Okay, and let's give one layer a name. I'm going to call it as layer to this both layers, and hit layer over here as well. Now select this yellow color layer and hit U, and we are going to remove all the initial keyframes as well as position and rotation updates, and scale over here I'm going to increase a little bit like that. Okay, so if you check it out this, you will get something like this. Also, we will create one keyframe at position. Even at this point, try to adjust it a little bit over here. Okay, at the center, and click on that push ease in ease out like that. Also for that position, select this and by holding shift move this handle over here and move this handle over here like that. So we'll get something like that. Okay, and this keyframe we will select this and we will hold alt open square bracket to trim up to this. So if you check it out this, we are gonna get something like that. Then I'm going to select this and I'll hit Ctrl D and I'll increase the scale of this over here. Again hit Ctrl D and we will try to increase the scale. Again hit Ctrl D and try to increase the scale. Hit Ctrl D, again increase the scale. Hit Ctrl D, again increase the scale. Hit Ctrl D, again increase the scale. Like that. Okay, so if you check it out this, you will get something like that. Now along with that, I'm going to select this layer. I'll press R for rotation to create another keyframe. Hit U and let's go over here and we will try to rotate this. So let's make this fire rotation over here and select all the remaining layers and press R only so we can see only rotation keyframes. Let's make this 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Let's make this 35, 40, 45, and let's make this 50 like that. So if you check it out this, we will get something like that. Then select those rotation keyframes as well and hit F9. Go to the graph editor, select this, and by holding shift we will move this handle over here and we will move this handle over here. So if you check it out this now, we will get something like that. Okay, now after that, if you see, we are getting something like now. I'll press Ctrl Y to create one solid background. Let's try to bring this downwards like that. Okay, and instead of this, let's select this and press Ctrl Shift Y, and we are going to choose white color. Go to the effect presets and search for CC Vignette effect and double click to apply. So we will get something like this, and amount I'm going to choose 40 only like this. So we are gonna get something like that. Then I'm going to press Ctrl Alt Y to create one adjustment layer, and I'm going to apply a magnified effect and double click to apply. And let's select this center somewhere up to this point, and let's increase the center like that, and try to bring this over here. Select this, hit Ctrl D, select the center of this, and try to bring this a little bit over here. Okay, so if you check it out this, you are gonna get something like that. Okay, now along with this, I want some extra stuffs over here. So for that, I'm going to select my ellipse and I'm going to remove this fill. I don't need that, and I'm going to choose white color stroke, and by holding shift I'm going to create one circle. Select this and let's make this stroke width to 2 pixels like that. Select this and press Ctrl Alt O. Then hit Control D and let's try to bring this over here and create duplicates of it. Well, sound like that. Okay, like that. So if you see this now, we are gonna get something like that. Then select all of them and go to the Effect and Presets panel and search for Wiggle Position Effect. So now we will get this like that. Now all of this looks steady to me. I'm going to right click new and create one null object. Select all of this and let's make it apparent with our null object. So let's select this null object, press P for position. I'll click on this stopwatch and let's apply wiggle 3, 3. So now what will happen, along with this, there is going to be some wiggle animation over here as well. Okay, like that. Now, after this, what I want, there should be some transition. So for that, hit Control N and let's call it as transition 01. Okay, and for that, what I want is that this rectangle tool, and I don't want any stroke, so I'll delete this stroke. And for the color, I'm going to choose black color, and let's create one rectangle like that to complete this entire composition. Then go to the rectangle path and unlink this size. Now the width is the height is 1080. I'm going to divide this height by 6. So I'm going to get something like that. If you want a little bit less, then you can do that as well, but I think 6 would be fine for me. So let's select this and press Y, which is a shortcut key for pen behind tool, and try to adjust the anchor point at this point by holding Control. Then press S and unlink this, and let's make this value initially 0 and create one key. Okay. Then I'm going to select this and let's go somewhere around let's say 20 frames and let's make this value 100. Okay. Then select those keyframes and hit F9. Go to the graph editor, select this, and by holding shift move this handle over here and move this handle over here. So if we check it out this, we will get something like that. Okay. Then let's select this and hit Control D, press V, and by holding Control try to adjust this somewhere around at this point. Select this, hit Control D, try to adjust it over here, hit Control D, try to adjust it somewhere around over here. Okay, then after that select this, hit Control D, and this time I'm going to select the shift layer and try to adjust this over here by holding Control. Again hit Control D, select 6th layer. By holding Control, I'll bring this over here, hit Control D, select this 7th layer, and by holding Control, try to adjust it over here, like that. Or you can simply go to the Align tab and choose Align horizontally. Now, this is the 4th layer is in something which is in the middle. So I'm going to hit the page down button 1 to 2 times. Select these 2 layers and with the help of open square bracket, I'll move this over here. Again hit page down 2 times. Select this and I'll try to adjust again 2 times. Select this and try to adjust it like that. Okay, so this is our first transition. Now there is a little bit gap, so to fix that, simply select this, go to the Align tab and choose Align horizontally. Okay, so this is our first transition. Then I'm going to hit Control N again and I'm going to call it as transition 02 and hit OK. Then this transition gonna consist of lines only. So pick G for pen tool. From here to here, I'm going to create one line and let's add black color stroke to it. Okay, and we don't need any fill, so let's delete that fill and let's increase the stroke to 5 pixels. Okay, and select this and press Ctrl Alt Home. Then I'll go to the start and let's go to the add menu and we are going to choose trim path. Go to the trim path and let's make this end value 0. Create one keyframe at end and one keyframe at start. Go to around 20 seconds, 20 frames, and let's make this value 100. Select like that and select those end values and let's move this a little bit like that. Okay, try to adjust it and let's increase the stroke width a little bit and select those keyframes and hit F9. Go to the graph, select this graph. By holding shift, move this handle over here and move this handle over here. So we are gonna get something like that. Then select this and in search option search for cat and choose round cat. Okay, round cat. Then I'm going to select this and I'll hit Control D to duplicate it, and select this and try to move this over here. Hit Control D and hit Control D. Simply select this and try to create duplicates of it. Okay, like, then hit Control D like that, and hit Control D and try to move this in such a way like that. Okay, so you'll get something like that. And let's try to adjust this sections somewhere like that. Basically, I'm adjusting this a little bit, you know, like, and select all of them, and let's choose the stroke width to somewhere around 1 pixels. Okay, like this. Then let's make this stroke to 2 as well. Okay, so now we have transition 01 and transition 02. So let's go to the main form, which is this one, and we have this scene. So let's select all of these layers and press Ctrl Shift C, and we are going to call it as scene 01. Okay, so we have this scene, and then hit Ctrl 0, and we are going to bring our transition 02 somewhere around at this point. And somewhere at this point, I'm going to move this over here like that. Then select this and hit Ctrl D, move this over here. Go to the Effect and Presets panel and search for Fade Effect and double click to apply. And let's change the color of this one to white. Like that, and press S, and let's increase the scale of it. Then again hit Ctrl 0, and we are going to bring our transition 01, which is somewhere over here, and it should be somewhere around like, okay, and all of this should happen somewhere around at this point over here, like, and it should be over here. Okay, like, and in transition 01, I think instead of this, it would be lovely if you choose this randomly like that. Okay, like this. Okay, then press Ctrl Y to create one solid background and try to bring this downwards and choose alpha mask. Okay, like, so we got this. Okay, now I'm going to bring my scene 01 again over here, and I'll hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, and I'm going to bring this at the top, and I'll press S, and I'll increase the scale of this, and I'm gonna go in my Affected Presets panel, and I search for tint effect, and instead of black, let's try to choose a red color, and instead of white, let's choose black color. And if you swap this color, we are gonna get something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to select this transitions one, and I hit Ctrl D, and I'm going to bring this at the top, and I'm going to choose alpha mask, and somewhere around like that, I'm going to bring this transition 01 over here and try to bring this over here, so you get this kind of transition. And select this scene 02, and with the help of Alt open square bracket, move this over. Okay, so now if you check it out, this we got this first, and then we got this transition. Okay, like, now it's time to add our text over here. So you are free to add whatever text you want. You can even do that. You can select this scene 01 and transition 1 and hit Ctrl D and try to bring this a little bit over here and this one over here. You can select this, and instead of red, you can add purple or any color you want as well. It's totally up to you. Let's try to bring this up to this. Okay, I think this is good to me over here. And you can select this transition 01, right click, reveal layer in source project, select this and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, and by holding Alt, I'm going to replace this transition and go inside this, and now select all of these layers and search for size option. Okay, and select this and reduce the size of this one to 60, 60, 60, 30, 60. like that. So if you check it out this, we are gonna get something like this. Okay, over here. If you want, then you can bring this a little bit over here as okay. So and it's totally up to you. If you want, then you can move it a little bit more as well. So now if we check it out this, I'm gonna get this kind of stuff. And now let's try to add our text, and I want this text within the base. Simply select, I'm going to select the text. I'll hit Control V, and for the font, you're free to choose any font you want. I'm gonna stick this one. Yeah. Let's try to adjust this text a little bit. Or you can choose try to play around this fonts as well. Okay, like that. Let's press for shading option, like that. Select this, go to the effect interfaces panel and search for transform effect and double click to apply and try to choose Q options. Press and adjust the scale. You can go to the character and you can choose this Fox Italic as well and press Ctrl Alt O. Go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically and try to bring this over here. Then you can select this C01, hit Ctrl D, bring this at the top and you can choose alpha mask over here as well. Okay, like that. You can bring this over here like this, like that, and you can bring this after this form. Okay, so you will get something like okay, and instead select this white color layer which is over here. Go to the effect and faces panel and search for CC Winjet effect and double click to apply like that. Okay, what like that. Then you can go inside the C01. We have all the shape layers. You can hit Ctrl C to copy. Go over here and hit Ctrl V. And try to move this somewhere around at this point towards here, like that. Okay. Then select this within the base text. Press S and try to increase the scale. Create one keyframe. Go few frames forward and let's try to decrease the scale of this text like okay. Then select this text and hit Ctrl D and let's enable this layer. And if you want, then you can choose this as overlay text as well, so you get different results. It's totally up to you how you want to represent the text. You can play around with this darken and multiply options as well. Okay, so let's choose multiply like that. So we will get this kind of a text layer. You can select those and try to adjust them properly like that. Okay, even in scene 1 I think there are two adjustment layers. You can select those and hit Ctrl C and you can try to bring them over here as well. And I'm going to bring this around at this point like that. Okay, and you can select those and you can try to adjust the section of that to somewhere around over here like that. Also select this, try to adjust the center of them somewhere around at this point. And over here I'm going to adjust those centers. So let's select this and we'll create one keyframe and center. Select this first layer and create another keyframe. Select both the layers and hit U and let's go somewhere around 4 seconds and I'm going to shift those a little bit like that. Okay, so if you check it out this, you got something like that over here. Now after that, I'm going to select this Awaken the base text, and I'll hit Ctrl D as well. And let's press S, and let's try to increase the scale of this text, and press and try to bring this over here after this text over here. Sorry, let's try to bring this downwards, and press T for opacity, and let's make this opacity 10. Or instead of that, you can make this 100, but instead of fill, we will choose stroke, and we can choose a different color, and try to use a normal version of this text only, and stroke weight, let's choose 0.2, like that. And let's decrease the scale, delete the scale difference, we don't need that. Okay, like that. I think we need to increase the distance between these alphabets. Okay, and try to adjust it properly at this. Okay, and try to adjust the stroke width a little bit. Like, and hit N over here. I'm going to hit N at 4 seconds, and that's it. Okay, and if you want to change the color, you can simply go over here, and instead of red, you are free to choose different colors you want. Okay, it's totally up to you. You can choose something like that as well if that suits you. Like this, I think we'll go with this one, because this looks quite neon color like that. Okay, over here, and you can add some filler text over here as well, like name of website or something. So let's log all of this and try to add name. I'm going to type name of website or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to type this is CSN delivery. Okay, this is just a random text I'm typing. You are able to type whatever text you want. It's just as a filler I'm going to add, and let's use this just for now. And let's change the font as well, because this looks very normal. Let's use the scale. I'm going to increase the alphabetical distance like that. Select this and press Ctrl Alt Home. Let's try to bring this at the bottom. Select this and hit Ctrl D, and I try to bring it at the top outward. Okay, and I'm going to bring those text around this point. So now if you take it out this, you will get something like that. Okay, and if you think the background, this background text over here, which is this layer, is quite cluttery, so you can select this text, you can go to the rectangle tool, and you can try to create one mask over here, and then invert that mask and go to the mask properties and increase the mask feathers. Okay, like that. So we are gonna get something like that. You can select this those text as well, and you can save bolder version of it like that. Okay, so this is how you can create this kind of a post-created motion graphic inside of After Effects. Also, at the end, right now this is quite smooth, but if you want to give a little bit vintage effect kind of a stuff, then what you can do, simply right click new and create one adjustment layer, search for posterized time effect, and choose frame rate 50. So what will happen that it will look like something 2D kind of a stuff, and frame rate is a little bit less. And if you want to add textures and you don't want any other video, simply type noise effect and double click to apply, and you can choose noise up to 40% as well, or I think 30 would be enough. Okay, So now if you check it out, this along with this you'll get noise texture like that, and you'll get the 2D effect over here as well, or you can choose 25% noise as well, so it's not going to be too much. Okay, so this is how you can create this kind of a sports motion graphics. So here we are in Adobe Photoshop, and I have this Burger King logo over here, and I want each and every object on different layer, and I have already did that work over here. If you see, we have each and every subject properly on different layer. So how to do that? I'll just demonstrate over here. First of all, let's unlock this layer, and I don't want this white color in this entire logo. So either I can go to the select options and go to the color range, and with the help of this picker I can pick up this white color, and for image choose 50, hit OK, and simply delete that white color, so we will get proper different layer. And now to select each and every object on different layer, all you have to do is simply press L on keyboard to enable the lasso tool, and you can select this any word you want like that, and simply hit Ctrl X to cut it out, create a new layer, and press Ctrl Shift V to paste in place. And you have to do this procedure for all of this alphabet and small elements, then your final result will look something like that. Right now I have already created this animation, so we don't need to waste time on that. Okay, so I'll save this file. Then we need to go to the Illustrator, and now I have this burger illustration and this hand illustration to with me. And now I got this from faping.com. I'll provide the link in the description so you can download it and practice it along with me. Okay, so first thing first, we need this burger. So I'll select this burger only, and I'll hit Ctrl C to copy. And I have already created this document. Height width is 1920 of this document, and it is in RGB mode. And simply press Ctrl V over there, and press E on your keyboard to enable the transform tool, and by holding shift try to adjust the size, and let's try to bring this a little bit smaller. Now we need to adjust it properly, and we don't need any extra stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'll select this and I'll choose right click, and I'm going to choose ungroup, and I'm going to delete all the unnecessary stuff. For example, this shadow I don't want, so I'll delete that. Similarly over here we have this shadow, and I don't need that. Similarly this one, okay, this one is okay because this notes overlaying. So now each and every one should be on a different layer. So let's select this and hit Ctrl X to cut it out. Create a new layer, you press Ctrl Shift V, and let's call it as burger only, like that. Similarly, select this next portion, hit Ctrl X, new layer, and press Ctrl Shift V, and let's bring this at the top, and again name it as burger. Okay, similarly for this one as well, I'm going to put burger. Okay, and we have to name all of these layers like that. Okay, so with Ctrl X, new layer, and press Ctrl Shift V, and let's hide this. Select this, hit Ctrl X, go to the top, new layer, Ctrl Shift V, and hide this. Select this, hit Ctrl X, new layer, Ctrl Shift V, and let's hide this. Select this first, hit Ctrl X, new layer, and Ctrl Shift V, and we will delete this extra layer. And I'm going to copy this burger name, and I'm going to press Ctrl V to all of them. So now each and every layer is properly on different layer. Okay, and let's save this part. Now we'll go to the hand illustration, and out of all of this I want this illustration of this hand. So I'll select this, and I'll try to hit Ctrl C to copy. Go over here and hit Ctrl V. Press E for transform tool, and by holding shift let's increase the size of this hand. And let's try to bring this over here. Okay, and hit Ctrl X and make sure that you are pasting it on different layer. So create a new layer and press Ctrl Shift V, and let's lock all of these burger layers. And now I need to increase the size of this hand, so let's try to bring this over here. Hit E, or not E but A, which is a shortcut key for this tool, direct selection, and we will select these points, and we will try to select this, and we will try to bring this points somewhere up to this, just to make this hand a little bit longer. And select this and select this area, and try to bring this a little bit more. Okay, now in this hand we have two portions, one which is at the back and one which is over here.
So let's select this, right click and choose ungroup. And I'm going to select this portion. I'll hit Ctrl X. I'll create a new layer and I'll press Ctrl Shift P. And I'm going to bring this at the bottom and let's name it as back and hit OK. Let's select the topmost layer and let's type front end. Okay. So now why I am naming it like that, because if you select those and if you try to bring this, as you guys can see, it's create an illusion that this is going inside this hair. Okay, like that. So let's try to bring this over here only and let's save this file. So our logo is ready as well as our illustration is ready, and now it's time to animate. So let's go to the Adobe After Effects and let's create a new composition, and we are going to name it as main animation. Width is 1920, height is 180, frame rate is 30, duration is 26 seconds long, and simply hit OK. Go to choose grid and guide option and simply hit on title selection and then press Ctrl I, and I'm going to import my illustration, and make sure to import as composition written layer sizes and simply hit import. And let's bring your composition over here. Let's go inside this. Now, first thing first, we will try to animate this burger. So select those burgers and let's try to bring them over here. And let's enable this option so it will be easy for us to see only these letters. Then press P for position to create one keyframe. Then I'll go somewhere around 20 frames to create another keyframes over here. Go to 1 second, again create another keyframe. And in the middle of this 20 and 1 second keyframes, I'll try to bring this a little bit upward like that. And initially, I'm going to bring this totally out of this composition. Then select those keyframes and let's hit F9. Go to the graph, select this graph, right click. First of all, right click and make sure that you are in edit speed graph. If you're edit value graph, it will look like that, which is not needed for us. So make sure to choose edit speed graph. Then you will select this, and by holding shift, I'm going to move this handle at this point. Select this and move this handle at this point. Then again I'll select this, and by holding shift I'll bring this handle at this point and bring this handle at this point. Then again select this, and by holding shift move this handle over here and move this handle over here. Select this and move this handle over here. Okay, so now check it out, this over here you will get this kind of a bounciness. Now I'm going to take a gap of 5 frames and I'm going to adjust them one by one. So select this layer using the help of open stairs button. Try to shift it over here. So take a gap of 5 frames, shift it. Shift this to this portion. So I'm pressing open square bracket to shift them like that. Okay. Then hit U to minimize all of it. Deselect it and hit U like that. Select all of them and make sure to enable the motion blur. So we will get something like that. Now, before this, what I want is that this hand and this hand should work together. So initially, let's try to move this over here. Let's see this animation. The position of our hand should be like this. Now, I'm going to select this and I'll change the size to yellow like that. Similarly, I'm going to select these two and I'll hit Ctrl D, and this time I'm going to change the color of them to red. Okay, now I'll right click new and create one null object. Hit enter and I'm going to call it as send controller. And I'm going to change the color of this to red. I'll hit Ctrl D again, and this time I'm going to change the color of this one to yellow. So all the yellow color layers of hand controller, I'm going to make it a parent with this yellow color, and red one, select them and make it a parent with this hand controller, this one. Okay, like that. Select both layers and press Ctrl and Home. Okay, like that. Now let's select this hand controller too, like that. Over here and press S, unlink this, and let's make this -100 on this layer as well as on this one. Okay, and try to bring this somewhere perfect in such a way like that. Okay, and now we are going to animate this portions. So select this hand controller, which is red one, and try to bring this over here like that. So I want it should come like, it should come over here like that, and it should press this. Okay, so let's bring this out of this composition. Let's select this hand controller, which is in a yellow color, and we will try to lock these layers of this burger. So let's select this hand controller. Initially, it should be over here like that. Let's bring this press P for position to create one keyframe. Go to around 20 chains over here, and it should move from here to here like that. And select those keyframes and let's hit F9. Go to the graph, select this, and let's move this handle over. So if you check it out this, you will get something like that. Okay. Then I want this hand, which is over here. It should come from the top somewhere around at this point. So press P for position to create one keyframe. Go few frame forward and let's try to bring this over here. Like, and it should squeeze this. So let's select those keyframe and hit F9. So we'll get something like that. And after squeezing this, it goes upward again like this. Then it comes down again to squeeze like that. Over here, it goes again up like this. Then at the final moment, you squeeze it totally like that. And then it goes totally up again like that. Okay, like that. So if you check it out just now, we have keyframes, something like that. And select those keyframes and hit F9. Okay, like that. Now after this, when it's squeezing, all of them burgers should get squeezed also. Okay, like that. So what I'm gonna do, also this hand is quite misplaced. So what I'm gonna do, let's move your indicator at any keyframe, for example over here, and click on this position word, and you can try to bring this a little bit over here, so it would be automatically at the center like that. Okay. Now after this, to squeeze this burger, I'm simply right click new and create one null object, hit enter, and let's call it as burger controller. Sorry. And try to bring this over here after the burger. Press Ctrl Alt 4 to align that anchor point with the sensor, and try to bring this null object at the bottom of your burger and select all the burger layers over here and make it apparent with this burger over here. Okay, and let's bring this burger controller at the top. And now we can select all the layers and we can lock them, so we are not going to select in them anything accidentally like that. And somewhere around at this point over here, we will try to squeeze our burger. Okay, like that. But before that, what we can do, before creating any keyframe over here, we will try to create a keyframe for around this point. So press S, align this, and initially let's squeeze it like that, and let's squeeze it like that to create one keyframe. Why I'm not creating any keyframe over here? Because we haven't adjusted our graph editor yet, so it would be very difficult to decide from which point we should squeeze this. So once we adjusted our graph editor, we will try to decide from which keyframe we should squeeze it. Okay, but initially let's squeeze it like that. Then somewhere around at this one, let's move this 100 as well as this 100 again. Then go somewhere around over here. Select this keyframe, hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V again. Somewhere around at this point, select this, hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V again. Then somewhere around at this one, you will copy this keyframe, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. But this time we should squeeze it totally like that. Okay, now this. Okay, and let's select those keyframes, hit F9. Okay, so now we will try to adjust the graph editor over here like that. Let's select both the keyframes of position and scale. Go to the graph editor, and now I want it should come slow and then become fast. And before we adjust any graph, we need to make sure the scaling keyframe should be linked again. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to adjust the graph. And then select this graph, and initially I want it should come first. So let's select this portion as well. By holding shift, move this handle over here, and then select this much area and move this over here. So it will become a little bit faster. And then we will select this by holding shift. We will select this area. By holding shift, we will move this handle over here, and we will move this handle over here. Select this, hold shift, and move this handle at this point, and move this handle at this point. Okay, like that. Then select this and move this handle at this point, and move this handle at this point. Select this area by holding shift, move this over here, and move this handle over here like this. Then select this by holding shift, move this handle at this point. And as it goes again upward, I want it should go a little bit fast. So let's select this and by holding shift, move this handle at this point. Select this and move this handle at this point. Okay, so it will look like it's going fast. Okay, so if you check it out, this animation now, we got this, and then this. Now when it goes upward, I want this hand, which is over here, it should go also downward. So let's create one keyframe over here. And at this point, I want it should be gone downward. Also for this one, select this and move this handle at this point and this handle at this. Okay, like that. Then somewhere around over here, I want this burger should get gone. So let's select this and hold Alt close to a bracket to trim off this. Okay. So if you check it out, this animation now, we got this, this, and this. Okay. Similarly, we need to adjust this keyframe over here. So to do that, what we can do, as you guys know that this burger is getting squeezed somewhere around at this point. So let's uncheck this and let's make this 100 as well as this also 100. Okay, so now if you check it out, this animation from the start, we got this, and then somewhere around like this. Now at this point, what I'm gonna do, I import my logo. So I have already did that over here. All you need to do is simply hit Control R and import our logo. Okay, so I double click to open this my logo, and I'm going to select all of these layers, and I'll hit Control C to copy. I'll go over here and I'll hit Control V. And I'll try to adjust this properly at the center like that. And with the help of open square bracket, move this over here. Then right click and create one null object. Select all the layers and make it parent with this null. Select this null, press S and let's scale the size and let's delete this null object. Then select all the keyframes, not keyframe but layers, and press E for position. And select the position, right click and choose separate dimension for each. By holding shift, I'm going to select their positions like that. Right click and choose separate dimension. Okay, then select all of them and create one keyframe at X and one keyframe at Y. Go few frame forward, again create another keyframe at X and Y. And go few frame forward, again create another keyframe at Y. And let's try to adjust this keyframe. And in the middle, let's bring this a little bit upward like that. And at this somewhere around at this point, let's try to bring this keyframe a little bit upward. Then somewhere around on the star, let's go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. And we have to make sure that it should properly at the center like that. Okay, then in search option, search for Y only, and we will get Y position keyframes. Select, we need to select those Y position keyframes, and we will hit F9. Go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move this handle over here. Zoom in, select this and move this handle over here. 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 Similarly, somewhere around at this point, move this handle at this point. Select this, move this over here. Select this and move this over here. Select this area and move this over like that. Then we will minimize it. Go to the start. Press S to create one keyframe. Hit U. Go over here to create another keyframe and go to the start and let's name this value 10. Then press R for rotation to create one keyframe. Hit U. Go over here and let's make this one complete rotation. Okay, and let's make this fit. So we will get something like that. Then go to the start. Hit page down button one time. Select this bottom layer first, then by holding shift select this top layer. Hold Alt, close square bracket, right click, keyframe assistance, sequence layers, and hit OK. And then let's increase the duration of it and enable the motion blur. So we will get something like that. Okay. Yeah. So this is how we will give this animation. Now we'll go to the main animation, and I have already imported my animation over here from this layer. And initially I want scale to be 140, create one keyframe. Then when this animation ends somewhere around over here, I want scale should be 100, like that. Let's bring this up to 7 seconds and hit N over there. So if you check it out just now, we got this, and then we got this. Okay. Similarly, go inside this, all of the layers, enable the motion blur, including this fence, and press P for position. Right click on the stopwatch and apply wiggle 3,3. Okay. So if you check it out, this animation, along with this, we are gonna get this kind of a animation over here, and press Ctrl Y to create one solid background. So this is how you can create this kind of a logo reveal animation in After Effects. So here we are in Adobe After Effects. Let's create a new composition, and we are going to call it as main animation. Width we are going to choose 1920, and height we are going to choose 180. Frame rate is 30, and duration we are going to choose 60 seconds, and background color is white color, and simply hit OK. Then let's make this option fit, and let's go to choose grid and line option and click on title selection. Then I'm going to press Ctrl N, and we are going to name it as strip. And then width we are going to choose 1080 and height 1080, and simply hit OK. Then go to choose grid and guide option and make sure that you are hitting on this title selection. Then after that I'm going to select my rounded rectangle, and for the fill I'm going to choose black color and simply double click to create the entire rectangle. Then go to the rectangle option, rectangle path, and let's decrease the size of this rectangle, and also increase the roundness of it. Okay, like that. And let's hit U to minimize it. Then select your text tool and let's type our text MOVE. Okay, and then select this text and press Ctrl Alt O. Go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Press S for scaling option, and let's scale this size a little bit like that. Then I'm going to select this text and I'll change the color of this one to red. Then I'll select this text and hit Ctrl D and change to white. And let's remove this remaining text. Let's select this and press Ctrl Alt O. Zoom in a little bit, press V, and let's try to move this over here like that. And hit Ctrl D, and let's change this text to O. And select this and press Ctrl Alt O and press V, and let's try to bring this over here like that. Then select this O and hit Ctrl D again, and let's change this text to V. Select this text and let's try to bring this over here. Then select this V and hit Ctrl D, and let's change this text to E. Select this E and let's move this over here like that. And let's make this fit. And now we are going to remove this move one. Then I'm going to select this M over here and press S for steering option to create one keyframe. Similarly, press P for position to create another keyframe. At the same time, I'm going to select this OVE, press P for position to create one keyframe, and press S for steering animation. And let's lock this shape layer. Now we will hit U so we can see all the keyframes. At 1 second, I'm going to increase the scale of this text to somewhere around 1400 or 1500 maybe, like that. Go to the align tab and choose align horizontally so it will automatically come at the center. And I'm going to select this OVE, and I'll try to bring this somewhere up to this. Okay, but as you guys can see, it's not going, it's kind of going outwards to it. So let's press P, or you can simply bring this position a little bit over here. And let's try to reduce the scale of this into 1400 to see, or let's say 1300. Yeah, I think this much looks good to me, so let's keep it as it is. So we will get something like that. Then we will take a gap of somewhere around 10 seconds. Then I'm going to select all of them and create one keyframe at position and one keyframe at scale. Then we will zoom in and we will go to around 2.10 frames. And now we will copy the first keyframe of each and every one. Hit Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, and Control C, Control V. Okay, just like that. Now we are going to increase the scale of this O to somewhere 1300 like that. Okay, then go to the align tab, align it horizontally like that. Then select this and press V, and let's try to bring this over here. And select this V and E, and let's try to bring this over here like that. So if you see this animation from this angle, we will get something like that. Then again take a gap of 10 frames and select around there by holding shift. Create one keyframe at position and one keyframe at scale. Zoom in a little bit. Let's go to around 1 second forward. And now again we will do the same thing. We will copy first keyframe. So hit Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, and Control C, Control V. Okay, then we will select this V, and let's make this 1300 just like the previous one. Go to the align tab, and we are going to choose align horizontally. Then select this O and M, and let's try to bring this over here. Then select this E, and let's try to bring this over here like that. Then again take a gap of 10 frames, select all of those and create one keyframe at position and one keyframe at scale. Then go to around 5 seconds. I am going to follow the same procedure. Copy paste first keyframes like that. And this time we need to increase the size of this key. So let's make this 1300 like that. Go to the align tab and choose align horizontally over here. Let's select those, and by holding shift I'll try to bring them over here like that. Then again take a gap of 10 frames like that. Select, create one keyframes like that. So if you check it out, this we got this, this, and then after taking up a gap of few frames at the 6.10 frames, I'm going to hit Control C, Control V the first frame like that. Okay, then again I'll take a gap of 10 frames over here and I'll create another keyframe. Okay, and if I hit N over here and if I see this animation, let's make this fit. I'll keep this like that. Okay, now what we need to do over here, let's check it out. Where is no keyframe at this point? I didn't created any keyframe on scale. So just to do that, try to create keyframes on those layers. Okay, after that select those keyframes and let's hit F9. Go to the graph, select this graph, by holding shift move one handle at this point, and let's move one handle at this point. Okay, so if you check it out this animation now, we will get something like that over here like this. Okay, and then this animation is ending at this point, so I'll right click and choose trim comp to work area. Then go to the main animation comp and let's bring those strip over here like that. Okay, then press Ctrl Y to create one solid background, and let's change the color of this one to red and try to bring this downward. Select this strip, hit O to go at the end, then press Ctrl Alt T on your keyboard to enable frame mapping. And before this last keyframe, create one keyframe and delete this last keyframe. We don't need that. And Alt click on the stopwatch and let's apply loop out expression on it like this and disable. And then from here I'm going to bring one marker so it would be easy for us to understand. Then this is our looping point. And let's increase the duration of this strip like that. Okay, now I'm going to select this strip. I'll press S for scaling option and I'll decrease the scale of this. Go to the align tab and try to bring this at this point. Then go inside this and press Ctrl Y to create one solid background, and I'm going to choose white color and I'll bring this one downwards. Then go to this, and now we need to create 4 copies of it because our texts are 4 alphabets. So let's select this and hit Ctrl D. By holding Ctrl, I try to bring this over here. Again hit Ctrl D. By holding Ctrl, snap it properly. Again hit Ctrl D. Bring this over here and snap it. Now all the three remaining layers, make it apparent with 4, which is this one, and press Y for pen behind tool, and by holding control try to bring this anchor point at this point, and let's try to adjust the scale in such a way that it should cover the entire portion. So let's make this 44.5 5, okay, like that. And now if you check it out, this animation over here, that we will get something like that, okay, over here. Now after this, what I want is that there should be some alternation between this animation. So I'm going to take a gap of one frames, and I'm going to bring this over here and this over here, like that. Okay, so we'll get this. Then I'll go to the start, and I'm going to select this, and I'll try to bring this somewhere at this point. Okay, then select all of them and press Ctrl Shift C, and we are going to call it as 01 or 01 text, and hit OK. Okay, and I know that my animation is in the form of loop at this point. Okay, so I'll select this and I'll hit Ctrl D. I'm going to select the second layer, and I'll press P for position to create one keyframe. I'll go to at this point, and I'm going to move this from here to here. You can hide this first layer, and let's try to bring this totally at this point over here. It should touch this end of this composition like that, and then enable your first layer and make it apparent with the second one. So now if you check it out, this animation, you're gonna get this kind of a animation over there. Okay, then select those two, press Ctrl Shift C, and we are going to call it animation 01, and hit OK. Go inside this, hit U, go over here and hit N, and right click and choose string comp to work area. Then go to the main animation over here, hit Ctrl D, and let's bring this somewhere around over here. Then select this, hit Ctrl D, and let's bring this somewhere around over here up to this one. Okay, like that. Make sure that both of these layers or all of these layers, select those and choose align horizontally. Okay, go to the end and hit N over there. Okay, so we will get this kind of a stuff over here like that. Now after this, what I want is that I'm going to select this layers as well. I'll hit O to go at the end and press Ctrl Alt T, and before the last keyframe create another keyframe, and let's delete this last keyframe, and I'll click on this stopwatch, and let's apply loop out expression on it, and copy that expression and hit Ctrl V on to thing. And now what I can do is that hit U, and we have this and this layer. Let's select those, right click and choose time or time reverse layers. So now what will happen, then they are gonna animate in another direction like that. Okay, and this animation is going to be in the form of loop, which means the final frame and initial frame is same, because from in, as you guys can see, it's in the form of loop over here. You can bring this to this as well, just to check it out whether it is in the form of loop. And yeah, this is how you can create this kind of a looping text animation inside of After Effects.